Hey, yo, what up? Welcome back. This is not a podcast. It's just my thoughts with Rob Markman. Shout out to all of y'all. Before we start the video, I just want to shout out. I get a community spotlight. YouTube tells me like who comments the most, who's the most engaged. And I just want to shout y'all out real quick. So Bozo's World, all right? What a name, man. Love you, though. That's Bozo's World 5806 on YouTube. Thank you. Veronica Brandon, I appreciate you. You always showing up. You always in the comment with a good word. Even when we disagree, it's always love. Kels, that's Kelvin Rooney, 1989. Appreciate you, man. Thank you for showing up. My man Samurai Nate the Great 313. Appreciate you. Ashley Johnson, appreciate you showing up. Who else do we got here? We have James B. We have LH. We have Blue Exodus. We have Andrew King. Andrew King is always here. That's A King's Cuts. Sometimes doesn't say much, but always with the salute emoji. Man, I salute you. Veronica, that's Beautiful Earth Ja. Manny M. Chris Stevens, Dyson Spear, Kalon, John Werner, Names Amine, Below the Heavens, The Sharp Mind, Michael Barnes, Gage AC, shout out to Gage, Alex, ALX 1116, and Louis G, my man A Quincy Jones, Mike Junn, Independence 412. Appreciate y'all all. My man Devious Minds, JR Rodriguez. Appreciate y'all all, man. DJ Lights Out. So thank y'all for commenting and just making this channel a fun place. So I want to have fun with this video. I need y'all not to make it weird. But whatever, make it weird if you want. If you make it weird, that's more comments, that's more engagement, that's more traffic. But we just tend to make a bigger deal out of things than it actually is. And I just want to have fun. If you watch the end of my last video, and oh man, especially if you go on Twitter, because I make a separate social video, they hate me for that last video, for what I did in that last video, for the information I gave. They hate me. That's cool. Again, the traffic is up, man. But if you watch the end of my last video on YouTube, I told you I was planning on doing this. So it's not like nobody bullied me into doing it. I was already planning on doing this. I was going to do it yesterday, but we're just doing it this morning. So here we are. Let's give it up for Drake. Let's give it up for Drake. He's accomplished something this week that no other artist in history has. The RIAA announced that Drake has earned 10 diamond certifications, making him the artist with the most diamond certifications ever. All right. Now, for those who don't know, diamond is a mark to mark 10 million copies, or, you know, in the streaming era, it's 10 million streaming equivalents plus sales. You know, by now, there's a whole equation. But to mark 10 million sold, gold is 500,000, platinum is 1 million, diamond is 10 million. So Drake has 10 millions. He has 10 of those, and that's more than any artist. Only the RIAA, they own those certifications. So a lot of times, you know, you might see a number and you'd be like, oh, this is platinum, but it's technically not until the RIAA certifies it. Before it's certified, it's like eligible for platinum, and then they audit your numbers. I've been through the process before of submitting records with audit with the RIAA. So they audit all the streams, the sales, the video views. They make sure that they count. They add them all up, put them in a magic equation, and say, okay, it equals 1 million, you're eligible for platinum, or it equals 10 million, you're eligible for diamond. So Drake has 10 of those. God's Plan, One Dance, Hotline Bling, Just Hold On, We're Going Home, Best I Ever Had, Sicko Mode by Travis Scott, Life is Good by Future, Work by Rihanna, Love Me by Lil Wayne, and No Guidance, his collaboration with Chris Brown. I love that song. I'm really a big fan of No Guidance. So those are the 10. You know, features count for this. So Sicko Mode counts towards this. You know, it's still Drake featured on the record. He participated on the record, so he has 10. Hold On, We're Going Home, and Best I Ever Had were the two most recent diamond certifications. That happened on May 28th. So the audit happened, RIAA counted it up, and on May 28th, they made it official. Hold On, We're Going Home, and Best I Ever Had were 9 and 10, making him the artist with the most. Now, I'll say this, and this is how I feel. I've said this before. I do think certifications pre-streaming and post-streaming are to me, are different. Only because, let's take Michael Jackson, for example, right? People had to get up and go out to the store and buy Thriller for that to count. You know, streaming makes it less intentional. I don't want to say easier, because none of this is easy. It's not to paint any of this as easy, but streaming makes listening and consumption less intentional. You could like be playing a playlist and a song just comes on, and you may not love the song, but it's like, I don't hate it. I'm not going to skip it, and it plays, and that counts towards the play. So streaming consumption, just in general, is less intentional than going out to the store and buying something. So, I wonder if ever will they say, hey, the records that happened pre-streaming and post-streaming era are different. But right now, everything's counted the same. But that's not a Drake thing. You know what I'm saying? This is not to rain on Drake's parade or anything, right? Because the truth is this. There are huge artists post-streaming. You got Taylor Swift, you got Beyonce, you got Rihanna. Post Malone puts up huge numbers. There are huge numbers post-streaming era, in this streaming era. Huge, gigantic artists in this era. And Drake is the one with the record. You know what I'm saying? So that's not to take away from Drake. That's just a bigger thought that I've always had. So here's the thing that I want to do. This is what I want to do today. This is kind of the fun that I want to have with y'all in the comments. 10 Diamond records by Drake. Clearly 10 of his most popular songs, the most popular songs ever. May not be your favorites, but 10 of clearly inescapable, huge, popular songs. And there's a bunch of songs on that list that I really fuck with. Like Best I Ever Had going Diamond, to me, is an incredible feat, because that's the song that really, really changed things for him. For those who were listening since So Far Gone, or for even those who were listening and fans before So Far Gone, I remember when Hot 97 in New York first started playing Best I Ever Had, it was like, yo, they're playing Drake on the radio. That's crazy. Yo, they're playing a mixtape that I downloaded over 2 Dope Boys in heavy rotation on the radio. That's crazy. It was just kind of this thing, especially where if you was in the blog era, it was like, oh, these records that were on blogs that were like our thing. And we treated them like gold, like it mattered to us, but it was like, oh, there's validation. Now radio, now these are turning into bona fide hits from some of these blog era artists. So I think Best I Ever Had going Diamond is an incredible feat. So, that's the song that changed things. And so, God's Plan is great. I love No Guidance. But here's my question. Here's the fun that I want to have, and just kind of poll y'all, and let's go back and forth in the comments. Which Drake record went diamond in your headphones? It's not on this list, right? Maybe the rest of the world doesn't recognize it, but what Drake record went diamond in your headphones? What Drake record went diamond in your car when it's just you driving alone, or diamond on your Spotify, your Apple, or your Tidal? Meaning, if it were up to you, which Drake song would you give a diamond plaque to, that you have maybe the utmost appreciation for, that you would just run over and over and over again? For me, I got a couple. I think about Feel No Ways off of Views. I just love that. I think it's a dope song, but that Malcolm McLaren World's Famous sample, I love the way they flipped that. I'm just a sucker for that sample. I think that's incredible. Like really like a hip hop favorite, that Malcolm McLaren World's Famous. I love listening to the original. So when he flipped that, I said, oh, like this the type of time that they on? Cool. That was off of Views. I might have to go Lord Knows with Rick Ross. The Just Blaze beat was crazy. I think Lord Knows, that was off of Take Care, right? I think Lord Knows is crazy. Lord Knows definitely went diamond with me just spinning it back, as many times as I could. I think Over My Dead Body from Take Care, that intro, I think he went crazy on that. He was shooting at Big Sean then, Kanye. Like, if you listen, for those who didn't catch it, there's a lot of subs. That's kind of where, around when the good music Drake thing started happening. The he's going at Big Sean, he's going at Ye, he's dropping like some, don't make me tear your world apart, boy. You and whoever the fuck gave you your start, boy. That was Sean's ad-libs. All of your flows bore me, paint drying. And I don't give a fuck, because I ain't never complaining about what ain't mine. Something like that. Like they was talking about like that hashtag flow. So that's where a lot of the things started between Good and Drake. And then Pusha comes in and defends him, defends Dayon over. You remember Pusha did the freestyle over Dreams Money Can't Buy, and then Exodus 23:1. Like, this is the start of it. But Over My Dead Body, divorced from that, it was just a dope record. 4 p.m. in Calabasas might be my favorite timestamp record. I just love the way they flipped that EPMD, Your Customer. That was a go-to Bad Boy sample. I know because of the Puff trial, I seen a lot of people like, yo, 4 p.m. in Calabasas was about Puff. Yo, he's referencing Cassie. Like, we've been knew that when it dropped. For those of us that did, but it wasn't just the lyrics. They flipped EPMD. I don't know who produced it. Sorry I should have looked up who produced it. But Let me look it up real quick because that's bad. I hate not shouting out producers, man. Let me look up 4 p.m. in Calabasas. Well, no, I don't want it to play before they demonetize me. View song credits. Why is a lot? Oh, Vinyls, Frank Dukes and Alan Ritter, man. Shout out to Vinyls. Shout out to all of them. But yeah, so they flipped that EPMD, you're only a customer sample. And that was like a go-to Bad Boy sample. That was a go-to 90s sample. Like Bad Boy used that a couple of times. Remind me of the time that Notorious B.I.G. and Lox, they had that record, You'll See. Incredible record that wasn't on any album, was just a mixtape classic. Biggie and the Lox, You'll See. That was the first Lox record that they ever did after they got signed to Bad Boy. But Puff used that a lot. So not only was he dissing Puff lyrically, they took one of Puff's more famous sample flips. Also, Janae used that for Sending My Love, classic sample. But 4 p.m. in Calabasas might be my favorite timestamp. That definitely went diamond for me. I fuck with Sooner Than Later for So Far Gone. It just makes me think about the time. I think back to back definitely should be diamond. I might gotta put Worst Behavior up there off of Nothing Was the Same. It's my favorite Drake album. Tuscan Leather off of that album too. The way 40 flipped the Whitney Houston sample 3 different times was crazy. So Tuscan Leather. But that's about it. I just wanted to keep it light, just talk about some of my favorites. I know a lot of y'all think I told you I'm a fan, bro. I'm a fan of music. I do have my favorites. We are in a mode now where hey, the climate is just what the climate is, but we can still have fun. We can still talk about our favorite records. So for you, which Drake records went diamond for you personally? You know what I'm saying? If you could have your pick, if you could just anoint certain records diamonds, which one will it be? Let me know in the comments. I'll be chatting with y'all in the comments. And I'm going to be back today because Clips dropped a new song today called Ace Trumpets. We're going to talk about that a bit later. Let God Sort 'Em Out is the new Clips album. I got a chance to hear the whole thing. I ain't going to lie to you. I heard the whole thing beginning to end. I'm not going to tell you what I heard. But we could talk about Ace Trumpets because Ace Trumpets is out now. So that's another video coming today. Just check for it, all right? Hit me in the comments. Peace.